Watch out for the livestock, the cattle, whatever, try not to disturb anything.
One thing that all modern boards have in common is they can snap or ding very easily. Modern technology allows for boards to get lighter and more responsive, and surfboards are often damaged when getting in and out of the water. These days you have three main types of board. Guns, which are very long, narrow boards, mostly used by big wave surfers. You have longboards, frequently used on the more mellow peeling waves. And you have shortboards, which allow for speed, power, and quick moves on a wave. Boards can also have at least 10 different tail shapes: diamond tail, square tail, rounded fin, or only a few of these. You can choose the amount of rocker on your board. Rocker is how much your board bends up at either end. You can choose the types of rails, being the edges of the board, and even the shape of the bottom of the board. Essentially, these factors affect how a board travels on the surface of the water, and how it turns and grips on the face of a wave. Ireland has a small handful of professional board shapers, mostly producing ordered surfboards in their workshops. However, if they're not making them, then they're most likely to be repairing them.
This fin here basically is coming out because it's all cracked around the edges. It's already moved. The fin is actually moving inside, so it's all loose. So we're just going to take the fin out, drill out the actual plug, and then reset a new one. This is what we use for lining the fin up. This basically is just like an actual fin. Same shape and setup, but bigger dimensions on it, so we can actually get everything into shape. You just pop that into the fin plug, and it holds the fin plug in place when I'm trying to set it, because if you've it mislined, once you add the resin to it, you'd have to re-drill it out and go through the whole process again. It's just a self-adhesive tape on one side, and just comes up, so that's going to stop the resin flowing away over the side of the board, because you want it up above it. So then you sand it back afterwards to make it flush. Place the fin in, and now we have to line everything up. And I use actually just standard blue tack. It just holds the fin in place. This is the stringer here, which basically runs down directly down the centre of the board. So we're just keeping it in line with that. What we're going to be using now is, we've got resin. This is similar resin. This is the catalyst that we add to the resin. This one here is pigment. It's just white pigment that I'm going adding to the resin to turn it white. All it's got to do is give it colour. Just adding some resin. Pouring some resin into the jar. Some pigment. As you see there, it's just white. You're going from that blue tinge to more white. The more catalyst you add, the quicker the reaction will go off and the hotter it goes. But you find if you add in too much and it goes off too quick, the resin hardens too fast and it will crack. So for fins in particular, you just want to add in a very small amount. Literally is just a little drill. You want to do this nice and slow as well, so you don't get too much air in there, or you get air bubbles. You don't want it to go above the lips of it, otherwise it will go into your screws, it will go in everywhere. It will gel in about half an hour, and at that point I can move it and then just leave it overnight, and it will all be fully hard then tomorrow. I'm just screwing the screws in, because once I hit it with the sander machine, I just sand the tops off the screws and they'll be destroyed. One back in, and as you can see, we're spot on. This is the moment of truth.
Some waves can be extreme, but not always because of size. There are waves on our shoreline that may be extreme because of their shape and location. This is the Intimidator, one of the bodyboarding crew's favourite waves. It is dangerous because it allows so little time to make your first turn, known as a bottom turn. and also because it breaks so close to exposed rocks.
When this wave comes in and wears up into the barrel, the water doesn't come from the ocean, it comes from the water that's left in the reef. So that water literally just rushes into that wave, makes that wave a lot heavier and thicker.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get down that wave, but the water's moving directly under your board, so it's like
a flow rider.
It's like a flow rider.
Could you see the reef while you're down in the bottom of the barrel?
Standing in the reef. If you drop in and you don't make your turn like early enough, you lose all your speed, and then the thing just, because it's like a washing machine, it'll just pick you up. Very sketchy way, very shallow, but good fun.
However, surfing these types of waves may have consequences.
When he smashed his head open, it was pretty dodgy.
Yeah, he was out there with me.
I was out there, it was just Andrew taking shots.
We were just out surfing and the tide was getting really low. We didn't realise how low it was getting, so when the tide gets lower it starts to get shallower. So there's less water, so there's more chance of you hitting the bottom, you know. And yeah, I took off in a wave and I don't really remember what happened on it, but I remember just like the second it fell off.